think a lot of the things that we're missing in the West exist here still. There's community. People help each other out. There's you know people in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
People make time for each other. It's been a really good balance for me.
Are you tired of the same old weekend routine? Looking for something new and exciting? Then get ready to rev your engines at Throttle and Swing, the ultimate entertainment destination at NOLA Motorsports Park. We're talking about an 80 configuration go-kart track that'll have you feeling like a pro racer. And that's just the beginning. There's also a brand new 18-hole mini golf course and a state-of-the-art arcade. When it's time to refuel, enjoy delicious craft pizza, a full kitchen, and a bar serving up unique cocktails and gourmet coffee. You can also kick back in the outdoor lawn area, complete with a playground, live music stage, a massive screen for watch parties, and free Wi-Fi. Perfect for work or play. Planning a party? Throttle and Swing has you covered for gatherings of any size. So what are you waiting for? Head over to NOLA Motorsports Park on the West Bank and experience the unmatched excitement of Throttle and Swing. Throttle and Swing at NOLA Motorsports Park. Get your adrenaline pumping.
Chocolate lovers rejoice. Scandalous Chocolates has arrived in New York with 4 sensational new varieties.
That's right. They aren't just chocolates. They're an experience. Premium edibles crafted with the finest ingredients, blending sweet and savory sophistication.
We're talking 20 milligrams premium chocolate lips, sleekly packaged, perfect for on-the-go indulgence. Nuts, fruits, caramel, it's an affair you can take anywhere.
At just $10, it's an affordable luxury. Fair trade, single origin, gluten-free, and vegan. Find Scandalous Chocolates at quality dispensaries like Travel Agency in Gotham.
Scandalous Chocolates. When you're in New York, awaken your senses and delight your palate.
The affair you could take anywhere. Scandalous. Are you looking for a unique New Orleans experience?
Check out New Orleans artist Frenchie at FrenchieLive.com.
Featuring original artworks, prints, and more. See it all at www.frenchielive.com.
Live event bookings are available. The gallery is open by appointment only.
And for private showings or parties, email info@frenchielive.com.
Experience the art. Experience the artist. Frenchie Gallery. www.frenchielive.com.
Hey, Jay, you hungry? Like really hungry?
Yeah, I'm in the mood for oysters. Hey, let's check out Trenas.
Oysters? I love oysters.
Trenas features a wide variety of local oysters. Char, grilled, baked, and on the half shell, even the famous oyster log.
Oyster log? I heard about that. You get 6 each of their signature baked oysters, plus 6 fried, all on a cypress slab?
42 oysters. We are going to love it. Trenas is located in the Hotel Intercontinental, 444 St. Charles Avenue, right on the parade route.
Sweet. When can we go?
7 days a week for lunch and dinner, plus a mimosa brunch on weekends, and happy hour daily from 3 to 6.
Happy hour? Nah, you're talking my language.
Great drinks, great wine list. An award-winning chef, Matthew Farmer, leads a team serving the best seafood in New Orleans. Trenas.
Trenas, got it. Let's go.
Walking, stepping down the street, y'all. Talking, never know who you're gonna meet. Dancing, the groove feels so good to me. Singing, wow, yes indeed, y'all. Soulful living is all we know how to do. Place on earth. I'm talking about New Orleans, the greatest place I know. My hometown, the greatest place on earth. Yeah, yes indeed, y'all.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, kids of all ages. Welcome back to Only Good Vibes News Network, your source for positive information in New Orleans, Louisiana. And look, We are definitely stoked and thank our sponsors for helping us and supporting us, because without them, we wouldn't have this program, right? And we also want to make sure we shout out to all the people who are listening to us, and mostly the international people to get the special shout, like our buddy Shecky. What's up, Shecky? We coming to Paris May the 29th. I'll be in Paris, Shecky, to come and hang out with you for a while, brother. Shecky listens to us in France all the time. And then I also have Charlie Howard, who is recovering from a hip surgery. Charlie is in Costa Rica, Dominical. Pura Vida, Charlie, brother. Thanks for listening, man. And Jack and Sherry are over in Italy. Thank you guys. And all those people who have actually subscribed and, liked us. And do that right now. Why don't you subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification button so you can find out about more guests that we have like we have today. So what we always do is we start off the program with Burning Palo Santos and Sage, and we pull these Zen cards. And we pull the Zen cards because it just basically sets the tone, and it gives people a positive energy, a thought process for the day. Just nothing super special, but it's something that we do all the time. So the first card, I already pulled them. The first card is Sincerity. Allow your actions to flow from the innocence of your own heart. Then sincerity is assured. Follow the way, live authentically, restore innocence to the world. Sincerity. Pretty good card. So I just think about that all, if I'm going through my day. This is one of the things that we start off all the time, and it always works its way right around into it, right? Like being sincere and just doing those things and just very cool things. And then you can be good in your heart and say and not really worry about anything else besides the truth. If you're doing everything right in your heart, like this show, we don't really know what people are going to like. But what we're going to do is we always give out our best gift that we can give, and we hope they like it. We don't know that they like it, but we feel good about it. And that's being sincere. And that's what this show is. See, it already worked into something. And the second card is Grace. I've read a lot of these cards a lot of times, and Grace is a good one. It says, the beauty of grace is that you receive blessings for no reason. As above, so below. Practice random acts of kindness. Practice random acts of grace. Give to others for no reason. Offer kindness to those who are undeserving. Love those who no one else loves. Practice grace. And, throughout the day, I guarantee you, this card will touch you at times. So, we've done the cards. We have an amazing guest today. I'm pretty sure this is the first Super Bowl champion that we have had in the Fan Cave live over here. The crowd goes wild. We have none other than New Orleans' own son, Mr. Thomas Morstead, and my dear friend Thomas. Welcome to Only Good Vibes News Network, my brother.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, bro.
Who dat?
Man, what a pleasure. I mean, my daughter is my co-producer, and she was like, Dad, do I even need to give you questions for Thomas?
She's trying to get out of that work.
Exactly.
That's funny.
She's over at Fleming. She's a wine manager.
Oh yeah, she took care of us one night.
Yeah,
we went to dinner last year.
I think I remember.
She sent you a photo.
I remember.
And then all of a sudden, our dinner was paid for. It was crazy. I don't know how that happened.
You got connections.
I
I'm sure that
appreciate
wasn't
you,
the first dinner that you guys got paid for in this city.
You're right about that.
I have to talk about the 500-pound gorilla in the room, first of all. As a New Orleanian, thank you. Thank you so much for making us relevant. I almost get choked up when I talk about this, but it means a lot to people here in New Orleans. We were always the lovable losers, right? Always. But with you and the team that won us the Super Bowl and got us the ring, man, we say the things that some players say, nobody can ever take that from us, right? They can't. And I wanted to start this program because I believe, please, thank you, excuse me, and I'm sorry, could change the world. And I just wanted to make sure that I got that out the way. And it is emotional to me because I'm a champion because of you, man. And I appreciate that. And everybody in Louisiana feels the same way, I'm sure.
Well, all I can say is I don't feel, I feel honored to have been a small part of it. You know, there's so many guys that were part of that team, so many people in that building that built that team, so many people that, you know, went through really hard times prior to me showing up. And so I kind of felt like, you know, I'm not saying I didn't have anything to do with it, but, you know, I feel like I got very fortunate to get put in that position and to be a part of it.
I think we look at it as a two-way street. I'm telling you right now, we got fortunate to get lightning in the bottle and hit you, and to get folks like you on that team and all the people, like you said, that did the work to get there to that time, because it's like 1967, the same year that I was born. The Saints were. And here's a kicker. And I don't really like to talk about myself on it, but because you're a friend, I feel like I want to say something about this, but because it relates to it. I got married for the first time ever in my life when I was 43. And you guys delivered me a Super Bowl that year. Team was born when I was born, and they won a Super Bowl when I got married. I mean, dude, I know, thank you, universe, I guess I really should be saying, but that's pretty cool though, man. I really am stoked that you're here, and there's so many things. And I mean, I really didn't want to just go football, sports and all, because this show is really about people doing positive things in Louisiana. And I always want to spotlight positive things happening in Louisiana, because there's so many different things in the entire world, not only Louisiana, that could be negative. So what we do here is we focus on all the positive things only for 1 hour. No negativity, no politics, no religion, and we just talk about good things. If you want to go back and talk about negative things and do like politics and all that stuff, you can do it for like 6 more days and all those hours.
Sure.
But just this one little bit of time, we're going to talk about positive things. And my first question I want to ask you is, when did you know that you were, I know you went to high school. What's that? Pearland? I think it is.
Yeah.
Pearland. Did you start off as a punter?
No, I went out for the team my senior year of high school.
Oh, wow.
My mom convinced me to go do it.
So no little league, no nothing, just like your first.
I played 7th grade tackle football. I kicked in 8th grade only. Went into high school thinking I was just going to kick. I broke my leg the first play of the first scrimmage of high school. And I was tiny. I was a super late bloomer. And, you know, I couldn't compete in anything. I mean, I weighed 90 pounds first day of high school. I have it recorded because I was so
How tall? Like
over the top. I was 5'0". Wow. I was so obsessed with, am I ever going to grow? Because I was so small. And I went to, you know, I know people think certain high schools here in New Orleans are big if they've got like a class of 300. We had 1,100 kids in my freshman class.
Wow,
at Pearland High School. And
too.
So I couldn't compete at anything. And I was a soccer guy, kind of limped through, didn't get great rehab. And I got cut from my soccer team my junior year. And I was just miserable. It's like the worst day of my life. And my mom was like, you know, you really should think about going out for football. The whole town was shut down on Friday nights. And she's like, you know, just you could have a great experience. And they already had a kicker and a punter. So it wasn't like to put pressure on me to like do this new thing. It was just more to like have a good experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of be involved. And so I went out for the team. I think 2 days before school started, I went and met with the coach and just said, hey, can I come join? And he said, and he had been trying to recruit me because they knew I could kick. And he said, look, we've got 2 guys that are starting, but you know, we'd love to have you. And so the first punt of the first game, the guy shanked it. And at halftime, he came in and he said, Morstead, you're up next. And I think that the punt got down at the 2-yard line, and I never gave the job back.
Wow.
And
that gave me the chills.
So anyways, I thought that was the end of it. I missed the last extra point of high school off an NFL upright, skinny uprights in the Astrodome, playing against Port Arthur Memorial. Jamal Charles, never heard of that guy before.
Yeah,
4 touchdowns against us.
Damn.
And that was my last kick of high school, and I thought I was done. And then the week after Thanksgiving, I came back from school to school, and I got pulled out of class 3 times to talk to different coaches that were coming through about walking on. And my high school coach, who was done with me, had no reason to help me out, was like, hey, you know, you are scrawny, unathletic, never lifted weights. but I've never seen somebody spiral football repeatedly like you. And you have really good trajectory. I think I averaged like 34 yards a punt, but like 2/3 of them were fair catches. And he was like, I just think if you put some time and effort into this, you could be a good player.
Wow.
So it's the first time I ever heard anybody kind of give me.
What was his name?
Tony Heath.
Wow, Tony.
And then Coach Allison was an assistant who helped me put together highlight film and did all this. They really poured into me after I had nothing left to give to the team. I was graduating, and so.
Great evaluators of talent. I mean, they were they saw it, I mean.
They saw something, obviously, because I didn't see it. And, having somebody believe in you like that, it was meaningful because I said, all right, maybe I could try to do that. I didn't really have a direction. So I got an engineering scholarship to go to SMU. And the coach said I could walk on if I just showed up on time. They had a hard time fielding walk-ons at the time, small school. And so it's just like a perfect setup. And I was able to go there and just kind of like exist silently and no pressure. And, 2 years of being in a college lifting program and training.
Is that where you got your work ethic from like a college? Because I mean, your work ethic is sick, man.
I think, here's what I think. My dad was a pro cyclist and I saw him, I call that a professional sufferer. Cycling's a sufferer,
right?
Like it's a painful sport. It's about who can suffer the most. That's really what it comes down to. Wow. And I saw my mom in corporate America just crush it all the way through and just be this total badass and elite communication skills. If you've ever met my mom, she's she's like an incredible person. And you don't realize that you absorb certain things from your parents until all of a sudden things start tying together. And you start connecting the dots a little bit. And I think, I almost quit after a month at college. I was tired. I was sore, stressful. I got to keep certain grades to keep my academic scholarship. I have to be up at 6 a.m. for workouts every day, part of the construction crew, as they called us.
Educated and talented.
It was just super challenging, and I couldn't get unsore. I didn't know about nutrition, and I need to eat right after I work out because your body's like clamoring for fuel to like fix your muscles back up. And I don't know, I just kind of kept doing this like, all right, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it one more day. I told myself that for a few weeks, like lying to myself almost like just I'm not going to commit to the next week or next month, just one more day, just show up one more day. And I'd say about 6 weeks in, I had a weekend off. I wasn't traveling with the team. And I came back in for a workout on Monday and I felt fresh for the first time since going to college. And I remember the ball jumping off my foot differently after just 6 weeks of training.
Like hitting the barrel of your foot. Like,
something,
pow.
It just sounded different. It felt good. And I was like, man, maybe this is working. And so then that, like when people tell you to follow your passion, I kind of feel like that's a lot of crap sometimes. Like sometimes you just got to invest enough time to see some change. And then you get passionate about something that you invest in. And I hated the weight room. And I'll probably die in a weight room now. It's part of my life. I love it. And it changed how I felt about myself. I started to look better. My body started to take form. And then it was just like a snowball that just kind of kept rolling and getting bigger and bigger. And I remember once I started passing certain people up, they were not going to catch me, And so it just kind of was like a unique mix of difficult and timing. Most people that are going to college to play, whether they're walk on or not, they're super talented, but they haven't really been challenged in a certain way. I feel like I had all the challenges early and somehow through dumb luck kind of survived them. And, most guys that are getting into college right at the time, wow, that guy can kick it so far, right? The talent, you see it. And it's like, okay, this guy can hone his skill in. I was pretty damn skilled coming in. I just couldn't kick it that far, but the frame was there. And anyways, I just got, really good fortune. And
I think your folks, I hear you say that. And then the suffering part from you saying your dad, a professional sufferer, like when you were like, dude, this sucks. And this sucks. This sucks. I'm just going to do it one more day. I'm going to do it. That would may have been like,
I remember asking my dad, like I said, hey, why this is probably when I was in senior in high school, starting to think about this. I was like, Dad, what made you so good? And his first response was, well, I think I've got pretty good genetics for this. And I was like, that doesn't make me feel better about, like, I'm looking for something I can take hold of. You know what I mean? Genetics is out of my control. And he was like, he said, I was willing to suffer more than everyone else. And I thought, that's kind of twisted. I can assume that. I can try to become that because that's in your control. And so I know that sounds silly for a punter to say that.
I didn't want to cut you off, but that hits me right now. Like, because that's like living in that grind and like head down and like without saying it, the head down and just putting in the work.
Yeah.
And understanding that it's going to hurt, understanding it's going to suck. But then once you start callousing your mind and your thoughts into that.
I'll tell you another thing that I think I was fortunate in is I was given the time to go through the process. I battle this with my kids now. It's like everybody wants to give their kids the most resource immediately and the best plan, the best everything that's been formulated through experience. And I'm kind of glad I was young and dumb, stupid enough to think I could actually accomplish something that seemed outside of my reach. And I knew nothing. But because I went through it on my own, I had people help me here and there as I went along. But my point is I didn't have the answers to the test, right? I like had to go and fail, fall on my face, do things a poor way. And you had to learn, and by investing and putting more and more time in, the more invested you become, the less willing you are to let it go, right? And so you kind of like, you kind of have to like do a little bit of one at the same time as the other. You gain a little bit of knowledge and then you get a little more invested. You suffer a little more. It just builds on each other. And I don't like if I just gave a young punter my entire, Rolodex, my entire plan, how I learned it all, gave them the book. I don't think that would be in their best interest, if that makes sense.
Wow. That's a question down the line I was going to ask. I can scratch that one off, but that's a lot. That makes me realize, one of the things I always tell myself, and I tell my daughter this all the time, results spur motivation. And that's what I want from this show. I want people to get some results, like trying some thinking positive and doing these different things like box breathing when you get like stressed out, and understanding that your subconscious thought process is just a sponge waiting to act on whatever you're saying to find it, whether it's a negative thing. Yep. On this show, we talk about, I have neurologists on too. One of them, Dr. Bruce, was like, Leroy, people need to not have ants. A-N-T. Ants is automatic negative thoughts. We just have them. You do. Like you may go say, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket. I'm not going to win. That's an ant. It's an automatic negative thought. You don't know if you're going to win or not, but we've just been programming that subconscious thought process. And that's why once we get people to get out of that and start putting in good things, that's when they get spurred.
Did he say whether that was nature or nurture or both?
I think he said both. He said both. Yeah. And so
I'm curious about that. I see that my kids are all different. So I'm sure this part of that's nature, but I think I've been very fortunate. I've only had, there was no cap on my thinking growing up. I remember growing up in Pearland and hearing kids at school being like, man, I'm never going to get out of this town. And my family was from England. And I'd been across the pond a number of times. And I was like, why not? You could drive anywhere you want. There was not some sort of like, glass ceiling or
just something that's locking you in,
Yeah. I never understood that. And as I've gotten older, you realize people are that way for a reason, right? They've either not seen anything or they feel like they don't have an opportunity. But I didn't understand the other side of it growing up because
I feel like I always say this about kids. My daughter's 30 years old now, but I always say that us as humans, when you're a kid, we're basically like a sponge parakeet. So we just kind of absorb everything and kind of repeat it, whether it's from our parents and as we get older, the people we surround ourselves with. And then we just become that person from those trials and tribulations. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's exactly what I did with my life. I always felt like they told me you can do anything you want to, Leroy. Like my family always said, like, they lied to me a lot. They were like, dude, you can be an attorney, you know everything, you can do anything you want to. And I believe that, just like I believed in the talent. I really did believe that. And I still do. I feel like I always use an analogy. I don't say I can't do anything. I say I haven't tried it yet. Yep. Like if someone says, hey, can you go to the moon? I'm like, well, possibly if I get someone who I know that had a spaceship or a rocket ship, then maybe, I don't ever say that I can't do something.
Yep.
I always want to try, you know. Well, and then there's a weird thing that I say, try, because in 2026 this year, one of my things is I was like, I take the word try out of my vocabulary.
Got to remove it. Just do.
Yeah.
Or don't.
Right, exactly. Because if I try, in my mind, the first time adversity, anything comes on, I'm getting off. Stop. I'm like, ding, let me off.
Yep.
But I think that what you had of not knowing, that amnesia, what athletes have to get, like you can't remember the last play, you got to worry about the next play. Yeah, that you had that amnesia early. You're like, dude, why can't you do that?
Well, it was just almost like, people. When you think about going to like the NFL, how many kids say, I want to go to the NFL? Everybody in there, every boy in the class raise their hands, right? It's like, I didn't think that was a possibility, nor was it a goal.
Wow.
Right? I wasn't even, my point is it was just, oh man, maybe I could kick for my high school team. And then somebody put it in my head and like, hey, you've got some talent, you've got some ability, you've got a long way to go. And I was like, man, maybe I could kick on a Saturday one day. Dude. But my point is at some point other thoughts start coming in, but I think I've had a good, apart from having good fortune and good people around me to kind of push me into areas where they can see it, maybe I can't, is just this sort of good self-awareness on how far out to shoot, and not just being like, this is the goal, this high arching thing. And I'm not saying you can't be successful doing that. What I'm saying is it's just, it's like thinking like, I'm going to climb Mount Everest. You get to the base of that mountain, you look up and you're like, that'll stop 99% of people even giving it a shot. Right. And you're like, actually, I just need to make it to that tree right there. I can do that. Right. And you get up to that tree and then you're like, all right, you're just at the bottom of the next challenge. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So
I'm living it. Like, you're like a therapist for me right now. Cause what you're saying is I'm implementing it right into this show. And like, I listen to a lot of Rick Rubin and those guys because the process, we just happen to think the same way. And I stumbled upon it. And it's more or less like we don't know a lot of things, and it's okay not to know them. And
even the experts don't know.
Right. And it's okay to not know. And we all don't know, but we all can.
How boring would it be if you did?
Right.
Like that's part of the excitement of just like seeing where you could take something. Right.
Yeah. And the thing is, what we may think, sometimes you need to try the things that you think aren't a good idea just because.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. Right. You're like, wait a minute. Thought that was a terrible idea, but this is a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we never tried that thing, you would never have done it. But man, next question is this. I can't get past this thing in my head for a second, so I'm gonna back up a second. I can't believe, and I want kids to hear this because this is so important. Like, your goal was never to like, I'm gonna circle the top, I'm going to the NFL, that's my goal, I'm gonna work. And you just was like, I think I can do this. All right, I'm going to do it. And now you did that, like the tree. And then you're like, okay, man, I'm going to go to this next thing. Oh, like your whole goal was never to climb Mount Everest. Your goal was like to, just see, I probably could, I know I could climb some of this. I know I can do this. I'm strong enough. I know I can reach that spot. And then you get to that spot and you're like, you know what? I mean, this isn't as bad as I thought. I could try again.
If we're talking to kids here, I would say when I go speak to kids at school, this is what I tell them. I ask them, how many kids want to go to the NFL or be a professional athlete? All the, ton of kids raise their hand. I'm like, okay, I was the last kid in high school. I would have been the first person you would have laughed at when I went into high school. You said there's no, I'm not sure about some of these guys. This guy's got 0 shot. So I'm not here to put a damper on anybody's dream or thought that they could do X, Y, or Z, because I'm the last person that would have been thinking they could do this. But the only reason I got to have an opportunity in college to walk on was because of my academic scholarship. And I always tell people, and it's very difficult to do for some people, for most probably, is whatever you're doing, just do your best. Because you have no idea the opportunities that open up from doing certain things. And a lot of the things that kids or adults have to do, it's not a choice. You're going to be there whether you want to do it or not, whether it's sitting in a certain class in school, being in a certain sport at PE, whatever, something your parents are making you do. It's irrelevant how you feel about it. And if you can just practice extending yourself, putting your best foot forward in everything you do, there's a million jobs out there that people don't even know about. I still don't know about. I haven't had to grow up in some ways, right? But I would never have had that opportunity if I didn't put my best foot forward academically. I wouldn't have had that chance. And so it's just all it does to me is if you have this like wheel of opportunity in your life, if you don't do things early to the best you can, you may only be limiting yourself to this little sliver of things. And less choice leads to less freedom, less opportunity, and it compounds.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think getting kids, it's hard to do that though, if it's not your nature. And it's hard to invest in something that you really don't enjoy when you can't see the benefit in doing that. Right. And that's why wisdom and having perspective and having gotten lucky a few times to be like, man, if I'd had a bad attitude about this situation, that would have never happened. Mm-hmm. Or if I'd have, said kick rocks and burn that bridge there, this wouldn't have happened, And
being able to look at that in the process too of doing it and saying, hey, you know what? Last time I did this, it worked out. So I'm going to just keep on grinding and put forth my best effort, and maybe it won't work. Maybe it will. And then when you put forth your best effort, you're like, you know what? It opened up another door that you might not have seen.
But even if it doesn't, you can look yourself in the mirror. Right? So either way, it's irrelevant. The outcome's irrelevant.
You say you're talking to kids. Like, I always tell people you should die young as late as possible. I'm a kid.
I need you to explain that to me.
Okay, so means
you need to say that again.
So die young. You want to die young as late as possible, meaning like just stay young forever.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter your age, right? Like I just turned 59, dude, 59 years old, and people look at me and they're like, "You're 59." I don't act 59. Yeah, and it's like when they like looking at like 60, I'm like, "Geez," and they're like, "I don't feel old," but because I have a kid, that's the age that I act. I'm like, maybe I'm sticking to that living,
Yeah.
To stay young, man. Stay young at heart, and that's what that whole thing does for me to make me feel better. Because I'm like, if I stay young, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be excited. Now one of these cards is called Zen Mind. It says, especially when you don't feel like doing something or you feel like you don't want to go out or you don't want to go to this thing, or you don't want to do this one uncomfortable thing. I tapped into this card. It says, do everything with the enthusiasm of a kid with that excitement, doing it for the first time. Like a kid doing something for the first time, they're just like stoked.
Yep.
Right? If you walk into that uncomfortable, weird thing with that mindset, and I'll give you an example of it, it always like blows my mind. So I love to fish, right? And so I got one of my buddies, a wildlife and fishery agent. I didn't want to be on his boat because his boat, he doesn't have a net. He's giving the fish every chance to live. I'm there to kill fish.
Yep.
I'm not trying to try and pick the fish up in water and have it spit out the hook and I lose the fish. I want a net. He don't have live bait. He's always using some whatever kind of bait. And I was just like, God, please don't let me be on Steve's boat. So we went out to the camp and it was just 4 of us. And I ended up on his boat. So I had to tap into that. Okay, let everything I go. My anxiety's away. do everything with the enthusiasm of a child doing it for the first time.
Yep.
With that excitement. And do you know, we caught all the fish. And the boat that had the net and had the live shrimp and all, they didn't catch anything.
Yeah.
And I bought in like you can never imagine to that feeling. Even if I have to go to some weird dinner with my wife and at work or whatever it is, like I just feel like, man, and I'm just like, okay, tighten up, man. Just, go with that enthusiasm. And it works. It works great,
See, that's interesting because I find my battle is same thing, bringing energy at all times, but it's because of the way I have to train physically. It is so challenging to do that every day and have energy for anything else. So it's not a psychological or I don't want to be here.
It's just like,
is it bedtime yet?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm and so that's something I really have to work on sometimes. It's especially, being somebody of notoriety in this city, I am not good with names. And when you meet and have met thousands of people, you want to talk about anxiousness, and you shake somebody's hand and I'll say, good to see you, right? Or I don't know if I've met them before, and they're like, you don't remember meeting me? And I'm like, oh, remind me again. They're like, yeah, it was the 11th training camp practice back in 2010. And I'm like, oh my God, sorry. No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
I just stopped lying a long time ago because I tried to
try
save
and
face,
get in
and I'm
there
like,
with
I'm
his,
sorry. What's your name again? I'm just bad. So
But
that's
I
a
think
PSA for everybody who comes up. Just give me a little grace. I may recognize your face, but that's
you have
that's
to be
a hard
the most
thing.
beloved. And look, I'll be honest with you. My first punter that I liked more than you is Ray Guy.
Yep.
And I was a big Oakland Raider fan at first.
Yeah.
And Ray Guy was just, dude, he would boom.
Changed the game.
Dude, he was a beast. And I just was like, and I just thought, oh, he's going to be my favorite one. And then all of a sudden, I met a lot of different, from Fuge, all these different guys that like athletes like yourself. But like, you are a true friend of mine. And you're really good. And for me, I look at punters like everybody feels like they can punt, but like punting is like a real strategic thing. Like you could easily shank it. But for me, I guess Rep Pep, another person that I listen to all the time too, when you're talking about working out, it made me think about him, is David Goggins.
Okay.
He's crazy, dude. He is nuts, dude.
A psycho. Yeah.
I love him, though, dude. He's like my spirit animal. Anytime I don't feel like walking and don't feel like doing something, I was like, what would Goggins say, bro? You're like, get your ass up and get out there.
Wake up, bitch.
Exactly. Not only that, I like the story he tells when he's like sitting there. You ever sit there and look at your shoes for like
I'm staring at it for 30 minutes, sitting on my steps. I don't want to do this.
Tape yourself and your excuses. Oh, dude.
My favorite one is when Rogan got a text from him on his birthday, and he said, happy birthday, mother effer. Yeah. He said, I know you hear that inner bitch telling you not to work out. You bet you need to kill that guy. Whatever the thing was. Anyways, pretty funny.
He is good. I love him, man. I really do. Anytime I'm like down or like want to be like, oh, dude, it's too hot outside, just this and that. Like, I think of Goggins, bro. He's like, tape yourself.
Stay hard.
Stay hard. Some people can't handle him. Some people just like, dude, he's too much. And I think he's great. I think it's comedy for me. I think 300-mile races. Yeah. 300 miles. Dude hates to run. He runs 12 miles every day because he hates it. He's got worse knees than me.
Oh my God, his knees look. I see some of the running he's doing, and I'm like, ugh.
Right? And then you're like, how can I complain about anything? This guy.
I think he's going to try to time up the magic of medicine the track we're headed on, where you can do 3 or 4 knee replacements in a lifetime. He's going to need them.
Dude, so my daughter was Monty's right. We didn't need questions. The first question is, why New Orleans?
What do you mean?
After so you can go anywhere and just live anywhere you want to, but New Orleans, like, what made you want to stay in New Orleans and be here? Because I really feel like New Orleans is like literally like a relationship, like if you had a girlfriend or something, like you come here, you meet her, you're like, wow, she's cool. But then all of a sudden, you're like, dude, you may like leave or something. Like, man, I really miss her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you're like, dude, we had so much fun. And, you know, like, and people, we consider it like a date, like a person that they fall in love with.
Yeah.
Like literally that person, like whether it's the fun stuff that they do and all the things that you have with those whole same feelings as in a relationship.
Yep.
I don't think, I mean, I have some relationships with that, like Costa Rica and all, but it's like nothing that just makes you yearn so bad. Like most of the time when you go on vacation, you're like, yeah, I think I'm ready to go home and relax.
Yeah. Well, what is it for you?
For me, New Orleans,
Yeah.
it's all the people.
It's the people.
It's
That's
the
it.
people. And the people that want to talk your head off, want to feed you to death, and they never want to let you leave. They want to keep you there. They want to talk to you and feed you.
I think a lot of the things that we're missing in the West exist here still. There's community. People help each other out. There's you know people in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
People make time for each other. It's been a really good balance for me. I think I was extraordinarily dedicated for a collegiate athlete and even as a pro. And some of the stuff that goes on from like February through April here is just like in the off season. It's a good time to like take a rest and enjoy some of the other things that life has to offer. So that's just random,
Dude.
you know, but,
No, but that's what keeps people here.
Yeah.
Like so many people come to New Orleans and they come back and move here. Like right now, like we were always losing, people in New Orleans, but there's a lot of people that are moving here, especially during these difficult times. Like I must have seen like 20, 15 people just the last 3 weeks that were like, yeah, man, I moved here. I just got here. And the thing that they always say is the people here are just different, man. Like I guess we're really resilient. I mean, you're a New Orleanian now. You know that, right? Like you are
I'm trying
a
to
New
be.
Orleanian. No, we took tryout, remember?
Oh, that's right. Oh, I am. There you go. That's right. I am.
And I used to own 2 modeling agencies, and the girls used to get very uncomfortable, and guys would be like, man, you're really pretty. And I would just tell them, just say thank you. I'd just say, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys like us who are humble, you don't want to always feel like you're overboard with it, but New Orleans is just embraced you, man. Like you are us. Like you.
It's been great. It's been great. The people, I would just say it's the people.
Yep.
I think when you go through new and challenging things as a person, that's where you make relationships and you bond. So you think about you go to college, right? That's where you're away from home for the first time and you bond with people, right? Or you move to a new city. Some of those early relationships you make, you bond with those people because you're in kind of this new, uncomfortable place. I think, I came here and I kind of grew up here a little bit.
Raised families here. Man.
Well, that's the bigger one is just you have all your kids here and then you make friends with other people that are having their kids for the first time and you end up making great relationships there and really serious bonds. And I just think, you have buckets of time. I think about the church that I grew up in and some of the relationships I have there. I think about my college that I went to, the relationships that I have there that are lifelong. And then I think about my neighborhood and the relationships here.
Yeah.
So I have like my New Orleans bucket of people.
We love our neighborhoods, huh?
Yeah.
Like we're so proud of wherever it is, whether it's here,
Yeah.
whether it's there, like in the wards, the 7th ward, like we just take pride in our neighborhoods and take pride in like the boils and the festivals.
Yeah.
And what's one of the favorite activities you like to do in New Orleans that when you're on the off season, like something that you maybe like?
I mean,
you mix it up a lot.
Look, I'm not a marathoner when it comes to partying. I'm like a sprinter.
I mean, it could be fishing. It could be
right. Well, what I'm saying is I love the St. Patrick's Day March.
Oh yeah,
because I love the whole experience, the whole Irish Channel parade. Those guys that have been, some of those guys that are alive, they grew up in the Irish Channel when it was only Irish people that lived there, and some of those guys, their families started this thing.
Yeah.
And so there's a real kind of legitimate culture and lineage. And I go to the church service. You know, you go down to Magazine and you get your hair cut and cleaned up, and you go to the church service and you see these guys walking their daughter or their niece or their granddaughter down the aisle to be kind of like presented to the public as somebody that's in society. And these guys are crying like they're giving their daughter away for a wedding or something. And it's like super meaningful and it's authentic. And then for me, honestly, like, especially post Saints playing days, getting to come back and be out in public in a big parade is just therapeutic.
It is, man. It's like you can't explain.
You want to talk about good vibes, only good vibes. That is good vibes. You got people that just say, you know, I'm so fortunate. I got to be a part of a moment that was part of the fabric of people's lives. And all that, they don't want to tell you, let's say, good job, we love you, but they want to tell you about their grandfather and they watch that game with them. Or the family member that's no longer here and they sat through the bags on heads and 40 years of, not getting it done. And they tell you about where they were, even if it was in the bathroom.
That's what
I was still in at halftime. I missed it. And everybody was screaming and, but they remember that moment. And it's like, they just want to tell you about that moment.
Yep.
Right. And who they were with. And that like is ingrained. It wasn't some random game.
It was,
and so I don't know how to explain it.
You explained it perfectly. That's exactly it. Yeah. Like the person that was in the bathroom for something, a person like everybody remembers exactly where they were. The thing I missed that I bummed out about is that I'll be honest. So me personally, I never thought growing up as a Saints fan that we would ever win a Super Bowl. It was just so far removed from me. Like I never, ever put us in that position or thought about it. It was just always like, oh, something's going to happen and you're going to, and, but when we got to the game in the dome I could see it now, dude. I can see Hartley's kick going through the dome. And then I'm almost getting emotional now, but I don't know why I was fucking crying.
Dude, I was sobbing. I was sobbing on the field.
I don't know why. Like I don't even know why.
I was running around looking for my parents crying on the field. I didn't know why. I didn't have any of the history or trauma of being a fan here. And
just the feeling in that building was just like, I don't know, man.
But you could feel how important it was.
Mm-hmm. Whew.
I've been in games where, look, I wasn't here for the dome reopening. I watched it in college because we were the second game. We were playing Tulane Saturday after that Monday night against the Falcons. And so I remember just watching that game, but I remember watching and feeling the energy through the TV of that. And there are just certain times and moments where it's just more than another game or, hey, there's a big playoff game and we really want to win. There's other things tied to it. And when you have the whole collection of the city,
so much stuff, and
it's just you can't measure it, but you can feel that it's different.
Dude, I was in there, and let me tell you something. I wore a tuxedo. I wore a tuxedo with the whistle, because we were like, this is like a red carpet event, right?
Yeah.
So we had a full tuxedo on, me and my buddy Wallbanger, and we went in, and I'm telling you this, T, I felt like it could have been any team. We were going to kick their ass. We were not losing that day after opening up and getting chills and shit. Like it was no losing. Like it was not even close to it. And then to think about it, how it went down with Steve, and I know you have a personal relationship with Steve too, and to think that Fuge almost scooped and scored.
I know, and the moment never happens.
Right? But just so many things in that game, man, that was just so monumental for me. And I just was like, well, I felt like we almost won a Super Bowl then because it was just everybody was just so happy. But if I would of been able to do anything differently when we won the Super Bowl was, again, keeping in mind, I never thought we would ever win a Super Bowl, but going there, I was just so happy to be at that table. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't care about what it was going to be eaten. I'm here, man. Like, I belong, dude, right? And then I wasn't thinking about, like, winning and getting a red eye and going back and celebrate with the city, because that's the only bad part that I wish.
That's what they say. You got to act like you've been there before. You're like, but I haven't. Right. I wasn't thinking straight.
Exactly.
Right.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I was just so thrilled. And the truth be
Yeah,
told,
you could argue that it would have almost been a better experience if you would not have been at the game.
Yes.
And said, no, I'm in the city.
Dude,
when this goes down.
The stories I heard, man, from people being here. Till day, I'm still like FOMOing.
I remember the videos that I saw after the NFC Championship game when Hartley made the kick, and the flood of people. It was empty to packed within 30 seconds.
Bourbon,
and it was just a total throwdown. And what was crazy is after we won, I don't think the city stopped partying until we lost against Seattle the next playoffs.
Yeah, you're right.
I knew a guy that sold wine. He showed me his sales during the season of the 2009 season, and the guy was crushing it. And then he's like, look, it didn't drop off. It just stayed high for the whole next year until we lost the next year, you know?
That was a magical run, though, man. It was so like, and again, you know, I was supposed to leave because I got married. You know, I was like supposed to leave the third. Well, I wasn't married yet. I got married in October, but the deal is I was supposed to leave the first. Well, yeah, so I got married in 2009. So we basically was already planned a third game to leave because we got married on a Friday.
Yep.
And normal people get married on a Saturday. So we were going to leave, and then just, you know, it was the third game we were playing the Jets. And so I needed someone to go in to be the Whistle Monsta when I left. So I got Jack from Giacomo's. He was like begging. He goes, dude, I used to be a bear. And he was showing me all this stuff, and I let him be it. So when it was the third game of the season, it was 3-0 Jets versus 3-0 Saints, and the media was here, and it was
Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, and I was like, dude,
we won 24-10.
I'm like, bro, I cannot leave. And so we got my wife. We ordered every single thing. We were at the Roosevelt, and we got every single dessert on the menu. It was just I was kneeling at the altar, talking to her in the St. Louis Cathedral, talking to her, asking her about. I was like, baby, Daniel said he would pay for our tickets if I stayed. And she's like, Leroy, when you're Catholic church, you're on your knees like this the whole ceremony, and everybody's behind you.
You had to come clean in that moment.
And I was like, see, she's like, not now. And I was like, oh, my bad. I was just drifting a little bit, you know, but I was thinking that the most important thing is I got to still be here at this more monumental time in my life, besides my kids being born. I was like trying to negotiate a deal to stay for game 3, not knowing that this is going to be like the magic year.
Yep.
Needless to say, we stayed, and it was 2 Whistle Monstas ever since. When I got back, I was so superstitious, I didn't want to stop letting him be it, and I was still was it, and I didn't miss a game. So I was like, okay, you got to keep doing it.
Yep.
And if anything happened that was so funny was he was getting like, not really death threats, but I had to go with him to the bathroom because people were like, there's only one Whistle Monsta. They're like,
don't screw this up.
Dude, they were like, after we came back, I still did it. So I made him dress up also. Right. So it was 2 Whistle Monstas the rest of the season until we lost to Dallas. Remember that?
I remember that.
And but he was like, thank God, because he wanted to quit. He didn't want to go 10 games.
Right.
But it's just, the city just is so much fun all the time. And then when we have reasons to have fun, like we'll have fun Wednesday in the square. Yeah. We'll have like whatever it is, the Shrimp and Petroleum Festival, like whatever it is, we love to have fun. And that's another lore, again, the people and the way that we are, you know, and it's fun to watch you guys and to see you guys win and to have the bars just go crazy. Yep. That's why they have such a love-hate relationship, a lot of the bars, because when they win, those dudes get paid, bank. But when if they've got a packed house and we lose, it's like, whew.
Yep.
And that's why they're just so bitter. But
It's all tied. It's all tied together.
It is, man. When did it become home more than? When did New Orleans become home and more than just a city for you? Like any moment where you're like, man, we could live here. This may be.
Well, we moved into Metairie in 2015, and we kept having kids, and I don't know what the plan was, but it just was what happened. And
Thank God it did.
we ran, we kind of started running out of space, and we started looking at bigger houses, and Lauren was like, well, what do you think about building? And I was like, ain't no way in hell I'm going to spend all the time, energy, and resource, the emotional energy of doing a custom build home, unless you want to be here, like, no matter what happens. So I said, I'm happy to go buy a different, bigger house that we can have a little more space and sell this one, but I'm not pouring all that into it unless you want to be here for, like, no matter what. She like kind of like took that serious, and like 2 weeks later she was like, I think this is where I want to be. And I was like,
dude, you're
going
to tear me up, dude.
There we go.
I
So
got
that's
to give
when
Lauren a virtual hug right now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lauren. I appreciate
I'm glad we
it.
had that conversation, because I got cut in the middle of that home build. And
Yeah.
so I'm glad we had,
There's all
talked
your
about
training.
that beforehand instead
That's
of
all your
after.
training through
So-
life. I'm looking at right
Yeah.
now. Like the retrieve, like you always was just going to go with what you're going to go with. Like, hey, that's just the brakes,
Yep.
now. And all of a sudden you building a house here, and like you're making a fan. Now you're like, I mean, you're a part of the community here without a shadow of a doubt. We're going, and then every single person, we have people that played, and like Joe Horn played here, and then he went to Atlanta. You went to Atlanta, but people like they don't. I'm not saying people, that Joy ain't a fan favorite, but I'm telling you right now, people follow you where you go.
Listen, when
Every
I
single
signed with
person gets your
Atlanta,
jerseys.
when I signed with Atlanta in 21 for that 7-week period, I mean, I was shaking before I signed that. And
you already knew that
I could not believe how many people reached out, just like, and maybe it's because I didn't choose to leave here.
right.
I don't know, but
We-
they were like, dude, we love you.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. You worked your
Yes.
whole life to get to this point.
Yes.
You got to take the
It's a
opportunity.
business, yeah.
And so I remember thinking that was crazy. All the love and comments I got on after that happened. I
That
was
says
a lot
about
shocked.
you and Lauren, though, man.
No, it just says that we've just been really fortunate.
Yeah, real fortunate,
So,
man. And
yeah.
so another elephant in the room that we have to talk about.
Uh-oh.
It's kind of a trendy question, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. So, ambush, like you say, you were shaking when you went to to Atlanta. Sean, like, what did he do? Like, did you know it was gonna come? Did y'all? I mean, when did he tell you? I guess, because I mean, we were supposed to show up at that game and lose. Let me just set this precedent first. We were supposed to go there, and Peyton was going to kill us. That's what everybody was like. That's what all he said. And
I think the line ended up at we were 5 or 6 point dogs at the end. And I remember Coach Peyton acknowledging that and be like, guys, there's nothing better than being the better team, and everybody's betting on the other team. Like, we are the better team, and got everybody drinking that Kool-Aid. And I remember the night before the game, he said, we are running this fake. We are going to do this onside kick. It's not if, it's just when. But we had said that 5 other times that year for different fakes that we had up, and we were always winning, so we never ran them. So I didn't believe him. The only person I said anything to was I need to diffuse that a little bit, let some steam off. I told my dad, I said, hey, if something crazy happens, it was on purpose, but I didn't tell him anything other than that.
right.
And no, we just, I came in at halftime feeling like, hey, no screw ups. I had a punt down at the 4, feeling good about myself.
We were only down by 3. I was feeling great at the halftime.
We were down by 4, I think.
4, okay,
10-6, yeah. And because Hartley hit the
That's a
field
win.
goal going in.
Yeah.
We had made some mistakes. We didn't get the goal line.
Chills 100 times.
Yeah, we didn't get the goal line play from the 1. So it's we're in it, and we can take a breath. But normally halftime's like 13 minutes long. I think the Super Bowl halftime's like 33 or 34 minutes long. And so it was a different experience. And but I remember getting in and like, number one, I was like a total spaz at the time. I never took my helmet off. I had lost my helmet in my last game, my senior year. I thought there was no way we were going to punt. And I like got called to punt, and I was running around, and I went out. My last punt of my college career was a 20-yard shank. And I remember walking off the field. My coach was like, that'll never happen to you again. That'll be a blessing for you because it'll never happen again. So anyways, I look like a total spaz, helmet on all halftime long, you know, and I'm like feeling good about myself sitting in my locker. And anyways, coach busts through the defensive doors. It's like, y'all got to have our back. And then he walks right by me and just in passing, he's like, hey, we're running ambush to start the second half. And he doesn't stop to have a conversation. He just keeps on going. And when I tell you my heart rate went from whatever resting was to like palpitations or some shit that I'd never had before. And, you know, I was pretty mad at him at first for like giving me all this time to sit on it. But in the end, it was probably a good thing. Like I needed time to like have like a therapy session with myself because I did not respond well to it. I was not excited about it. I thought about it if it messed up, if I screwed up, if we didn't get it.
I was about to ask you like a
all
golf
of
shot.
the results.
Those are the things you're thinking, right?
Yeah. And so I had time to go through all that, and I was pacing back and forth. And that same coach I had in college, his name was Frank Gaines Sr., had a picture of him in my locker. And he had died the day after I got drafted. I had 1 year with him. Kind of a godsend type of thing. And I was pacing back and forth, like I said, just looking like a spaz, I'm just freaking out. And I'm back and forth, and I look up, and his picture's right there staring at me.
Wow.
And he used to say that he had an acronym, ACDC, and that the A stood for being more aggressive. And he said, typically the team that's more aggressive wins the game. And I remember chuckling to myself. I said, well, this is pretty effing aggressive. And then I said, well, shit, every time coach had me do it in practice, I hit it how he wanted. I'm like, man, if we get this, like, there's no shot we're not winning. We are going to win the game. Yeah. And then you start getting a floodgate of positive just in time, go out at halftime, to start warming up. And the worst part is you don't get to practice this kick because no one can see it. It's a surprise. And so I've got so much adrenaline. I'm trying to get it all out of my system.
I didn't even think about that part.
I'm talking shit to their punter on the team, Matt McAfee. I'm like, Pat, tell your returner not to even come out. I'm putting this in the stands,
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to get anybody to drink the Kool-Aid I can. And anyways, I go over to the bench, and Sean's now flipped which way we're kicking because he wants the kick to go to our bench, not their bench.
Wow. Dude.
And John Carney, who had been kicking for us that year, but who they kind of turned into a coaching role towards the end of the season, he used to always tell me, hey, Timo, hit it 10%. And he was the last person to say anything to me. I turned to go on the field, and he like grabbed me, pulled me around. He goes, Timo, 1%. And he knew I was just juiced out of my mind.
Wow.
And I just kind of like, okay. And I jogged out there. I had little initials FG on the back of my shoe that I used to point to before I kicked off. And I took my steps. I looked down at the shoe, and I said, Frank, man, I hope you're with me here. And then I blacked out and hit the play, and that was it. So.
Wow, bro.
Anyways.
That's heavy, dude. That is heavy. That hit me. Wow. I mean, the coach.
You know what's funny? Every time somebody asks me about this and I go through every detail and get to relive it, I start sweating.
Because you think you're about to do it
I
right
literally
there.
go back in time. I remember how I feel. And it's awesome. It's this close to being a trauma.
Yeah.
But it's not because we got that ball, right?
Like,
and it served me so well my whole life because when you get into games, and so much of what I do is between the ears, and you get into games and you don't always feel your best. You don't always feel confident. You don't always believe in yourself. And when you can say something that's true in a big moment and say, hey, when everything's on the line, I can be called upon because I did it in the biggest moment that could ever be. And when I can
those
tell
results.
myself, tell myself the truth, and that is true, it gets you, it has been a gift that's continued to give.
That's the whole like, dude, you got me all tearing up and shit over here. Thanks, Coach. Coach is here, man. He's here in the building because he's like, that was heavy. That was like, I didn't even know all that was going on. You talking about pressure, dude? I mean, like, kind of
to
just
this
a
day,
Super Bowl.
I've never ever felt the extremeness of that feeling. I've never felt that again.
Wow. And Ambush is, I remember it's like sneaking into the ceremony, not into the ceremony, but at the Ritz when you guys, the Roosevelt.
Getting the rings?
Yeah, getting the rings. And I remember looking at your boy's hands, Ambush. Was it Hartley had it on his hand too? I think you guys had it together.
Yeah.
Ambush. I was like, dude, that play will stand in history for time to come. And like that and Tracy Porter's pick, those two things completely flipped that game, in my opinion.
Dude, when he's doing this, going into the end zone, pointing at all those Saints fans in there.
He was running away from me. I was in the 7th row in the end zone. He was running away. I was just like, I literally said, we are going to win this motherfucker. It is on,
I'm
dude.
telling you.
Ain't no losing
because
now.
our long snapper that year was Jason Kyle. He was in his 16th year, and he was a cool customer, had everything dialed up in his life, organized, and I just really looked up to him. But I could never, like, you talk about having that childlike enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like serious business all the time, and it was never highs and lows, just stable, which is what you really want from a specialist, right?
In life, too.
But I remember when that play happened, he's grabbing me. We're gonna win the fucking Super Bowl,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly, dude.
It was just awesome.
You can feel that. I mean, I feel like I'll go right back there, man, in the stadium.
Yeah.
And look, the crazy thing is, Tracy did the same thing in Miami before when you guys played him. Remember? I think that was the one where Reggie did the whole
the stretch out.
Yeah. But he got a pick
Yeah.
and ran it back too. Well,
I just remember we had so many pick sixes that year.
yeah,
it
he
was
got. I
crazy.
mean,
It was crazy.
dude, I love that.
Shoot,
defense.
Tracy, the 2 weeks prior in the NFC Championship. I mean, they're in field goal
Brett
range.
Favre. Thanks, Brett. Right. And that's, dude, that team was so much fun. It was so much fun to watch you guys. And I got to tell you, dude, I'm just tripping out because when I'm thinking about Ambush and I'm thinking about like just what it means to us. And I'm like in this right now moment with you, like on the sideline. And I just think about Sean Payton, man. Is he like, I've talked to him a couple times and he would probably know, he called me out one time with the media with give me a little props and all, but
Yep.
ultimate motivator, huh? I mean, I heard some stories like one time he put like empty containers in the
Gas cans.
Yeah, gas cans in the guys'
In
lockers.
the old guys' lockers.
Yeah, 'cause
just
it
making
said
sure
that-
you see. You just question: do you have any gas left in the tank?
like that kind of motivating is like, and then also the don't eat the cheese. You guys went and they had cheese everywhere.
Yep. Yeah, he. I just, he's hard to describe. I would just say he is a bit of a psychologist. I could maybe make an analogy to like having kids, right? You get to know your kids and you realize some of them need hugs.
Certain things, yeah.
Some of them need to have their ass kicked a little bit,
That's a
pushed
great
along.
analogy.
And I think his ability to know what each person needed to get the best out of them, I think he's really good at that.
He comes from that Bill Parcells, those guys, like where they just really are a different coach from what I've seen, like as far as the players. Like they go a whole nother different type of motivating, and Purcell, him and what's your boy in his name? Belichick.
Yep.
All those dudes are under that umbrella. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they have definitely have a way of motivating people.
Yeah.
So you got any motivation stories that Sean like kind of told you, like anything that he, or it doesn't have to be motivation, just be quintessential Sean Payton?
That's a lot. I always, I'm not going to be one of those guys that, goes in and starts spouting stuff off that's kind of in the confidence of the team. But I would just say, the thing was really, I only knew that for 12 years. And then you go to different places and you see different coaches and how they operate and they do things differently. And I just feel like you're always excited to show up to the team meeting. And,
because like you don't know what you're going to get.
3 out of 4 of them were standard, no time, all business, nothing to really talk about, just business line items. And all right, let's move forward with the day. But that fourth one, but you never knew when it was going to be. It may be a 30-minute banger, right? Something crazy. And, it's just the ability to capture a bunch of young people's attention, especially in today's world where attention spans are nothing, is a gift, because if you can communicate clearly and everyone's actually listening and is receiving the same message and everybody's guns pointing in the same direction, the same target, I mean, you're halfway there already, so.
Dude, that is really, really cool. I mean, it's already past time. I'm going to give some quick hits here, and then I'm going to let you go off just on some of these quick hits. What happens on Tuesdays and Wednesdays during the season? I mean, during the season, like on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, that workout day? Or is that like
if we're playing Sunday and then we're playing Sunday again, regular work week, Tuesday's an off day. Normally going in to get some sort of just
treatment,
body work, hot and cold tubs, therapy. To me, it's about rest and feeling good. As much as you can do that, you want as little stress as possible. It's, I have a unique position where I'm not learning a ton of game plan and stuff, right? Some guys, those are mental days, picking up some of that stuff. But for me, it's just about trying to relax, move around, but nothing that strains the body. And then Wednesday's a full go work day for me. Every team does it differently. I think most teams would have their high day on Thursday. So Wednesday would be kind of like get moving, shake the cobwebs off, have a practice, but it's not a full go, full speed type of deal.
What's a favorite venue to play in?
Venue?
Yeah, like to kick in, I guess I should say. Like if the winds at your back at certain end zones and.
I mean, every stadium's different and how they. But I'm saying each week, the weather's coming this way, this way. So you never know. I mean, I just look at venues as far as like fan experience and, player experience on the road. Like, it's definitely like playing all these years in New Orleans and seeing the home field advantage that we had. I loved going to places that the other team had that or something close to it. So my favorite places for that would have been Seattle. Lots of trauma there, but that place gets loud.
Yes,
and they built that.
Paul Allen,
They built those little sections to come over. It's like an amphitheater to deflect all the sound back. Jeez. Baltimore, pretty rowdy. Something about Lambeau. I'm sure it's kind of like being at Fenway or at Wrigley. There's just like some ghosts in the walls. It's like, even though they've renovated it, it's still.
That's the holy grail.
It's just different.
Just like the way the heat, the feel, and just the team still owned by like the fans. And that's a great thing.
Kansas City, I've only played on the road there once in my whole career. And that was a very cool. Tariq Hill was a rookie, and I had to punt to him that year. And I remember that game we lost by one score. I'm trying to think. Oh, the Steelers. That's a cool place. I've played there at night a few times. Terrible Towels. That's cool. But a lot of it's stuff that you saw as a kid and you watched, and you're like, man, it's really like that.
But you're locked in so much, man. Like until you just like. Routine.
No, I would say when you say I'm locked in, I mean, some people don't want to be bothered on game day. I enjoy I am there for the experience. So when you say you're locked in, that's me being present. I want to feel the
emotions, the pulse
yes,
of what's going on.
I want to feel that. I literally had a book. It's called My Book of Emotions. I realized it first playoff game, and I made a book because my grandfather came to the game, and I was hitting good kickoffs. They were going about 3 deep back in 09. So we're kicking the new red balls from the 30. So getting into the end zone was tough. And I just wasn't hitting it pure, fully juiced. And we scored again. I kept looking for him. 4th time I go out there and I see him in the crowd, hands up in the air. And I start crying on the field as they're giving me the ball. And when I tell you, I poked this ball 7 or 8 yards further than had been touchback. And I realized in that moment, wow, that feeling, that emotion was powerful, and it triggered another level of something. And I remember thinking about, like, how can I do this? And so I remember telling my grandfather after the game, I was like, hey, we have the NFC Championship game next week. You need to be there. Like,
That's awesome.
Same thing at the Super Bowl. And so I realized, certain people aren't always going to be at the game. So I literally kept this book of people, just like a little flip book, people that, and they're almost all of them in the book are positive emotions, not negative. Not that anger can't be a great thing, but most of them were positive. People that have poured into me, people that maybe didn't get an opportunity that I got, that are kind of living through me. And, it's hard to bring the juice every day. You can't just create it. So this book was in an attempt. I would literally look at it before I'd go kick off sometimes if I wasn't feeling like, fully wound up. And then all of a sudden spur a tear along. And then it was like,
you feel your posture just start getting up. Like you just feel it growing.
Yeah.
So folks they talk about how the adrenaline, like even if you're like somewhat hurt or whatever, and then you go on Sunday, I can only imagine the feeling of just 50, I'm thinking, I know it's 68,000 in the Superdome, but some places are bigger than that, but just the emotions in the crowd and the people there and that feeling, that adrenaline is like nothing you ever felt.
It's like anything. How do you, it's not, and if you've, that's why I think a lot of guys there's a number of reasons guys have a hard time when they leave the game. But you're in the Coliseum, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
and I'm not saying you're looking to go like life or death, but there is a fight or flight response of, there's a high risk that you're taking, and to be a part of that and to feel that, and it is a type of drug. That's
what I was saying. Dopamine and serotonin must be just through the charts.
It's an awesome. Now, some people hate that, but it's just how you view it, right? It's the difference between being fearful and excited. Physiologically, same difference. One's just negative and one's positive, right? So, what I talk about with my kids about they say, I feel really nervous, but typically it's kind of like with a bit of a negative posture and a negative energy, or I'm excited. There's no difference.
Right.
It's just how you view it.
That's, you nail that right there, because I'm a super nerd when it comes to neurology, like neurologically, how we react and how we make our makeup and everything. But the fact that like adrenaline and all that stuff and anxieties can be the same thing, but it's just how your mind interprets it and interprets it, right? So if you are sitting there and like, I remember one time this guy was trying to explain it to me. It's like they had this office room full of people and they thought they had lost some information on the computer, and the whole department was like, oh shit, like man, like this is gonna really screw us up. And then they called this guy. He came in and he fixed it. And that same energy just went to like excitement through the roof. It's the same thing. It's just those two different thought processes of that, and being able to grab that and turn it to that positive thing to use you is a skill. It is a skill, man. And I guess you guys have to live like that. Just not only working out your body physically. I always tell people this, like you have to work out your subconscious thought process in your mind that just as much as you work out your body too.
Well, that's where I feel like I get to double down, because the gym is that for me. if I go in the gym for 2 hours and somebody's like, what'd you do for 2 hours? I couldn't tell you what an hour and a half of that time I was doing.
You're just getting after it.
No, I'm lifting, but there's time between sets. You're just like, there's like an organizing of your thoughts that's happening. You have shit going on in your life. You have things you're thinking about, planning, kids, all these different things.
Therapeutic in a sense. So.
It is. If you have time to, it's a time for you to flush, and you can't just do all the times. There is times where you have to sit and think, and you may get all the information, but it takes time to like get filed away.
Right.
And I think being in the gym for me has been it is my therapy, because I think I lose track. I'm like, what did you do the whole time? I'm like, well, I did this, and this, and this. How'd that take you 2 hours? Well, I had sets between. What do you do then?
Just doing it. It's like
my brain's just, thinking about stuff.
I think that's why you got the relaxed demeanor, because you like, that is therapy. Like you're basically talking to a therapist when you're working out, and your mind is just constantly, all the good things are happening, not only for your muscles.
Or maybe I just have like a really empty space up there. And
No.
No.
When I walk, I feel that. When I walk, like during the pandemic, I was walking like 7 miles a day, and I just realized in between it, I was like,
dude, if you forced everybody to go for a walk 3 times a day for 10 minutes, just a little break.
It's
like I think it's a hack for the
is.
body and the brain and everything.
It really is. It really is. I mean, it make me, I guess it gets the blood flowing, it gets your thought, you don't get locked up in your head, and you get the wind and the air in your lungs.
Yep.
And what's your favorite festival here? If you had to pick one. You can consider Mardi Gras and Jazz Fest a festival if you want to, or you can like Wednesday at the Square, or
I haven't done it in a long time. I really enjoyed Wednesday at the Square when I was a younger player. The Saints always had a tent, and Fast Freddy was down there getting guys connected in the city.
Did he find a fountain of youth? Is he Benjamin Button?
Is that Mississippi blood? He'll tell you about that.
Dude, he still looks young as hell too.
That was really cool. I made a lot of, I met a lot of people that were New Orleans people at those things. And that was a cool thing that was very low key. It was just once a week, for however many weeks during the fall.
It's tomorrow too, by the way.
Okay.
During Jazz Fest.
There you go. But I loved it there. But I would say, look, I think, Mardi Gras is so cool, and it's got something for everybody, and you can find the right part of town you want to be in for whatever you're looking to get into. And I think it's cool because it's like a microcosm, I love everybody has to mask up that's riding.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like there's a reason they force you to have some anonymity, right? Yeah. It's to let everybody just relax and just do your thing. Yeah.
I mean, me personally, as a 6th generation New Orleans, I would get rid of Mardi Gras if I had to and have 2 Jazz Fests. I love Jazz Fest.
Yeah.
Only because the whole city shut down with Mardi Gras. Like you get it's just everybody. But the Jazz Fest is just in one little part. But you can still go crazy like that. Yep. But it's just not the entire whole city.
I may have a different response whenever I don't have a bunch of young kids. Jazz Fest is not, that's a stressful thing. If I'm bringing the kids, because it's just, you got hundreds of thousands of people out there. And I'm not one of the types of people that's, getting away from the kids super frequently. I got enough of them where I'm always trying to
cherishing every moment. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I used to have to bring my kid, I would it would be like maybe an hour, maybe 3 hours, maybe 2 hours. Because in these sections, she's like, I want to go. Then I had to leave. I picked that one day. And
I think I would do a lot more things if I had 1 or 2 kids.
Yep.
And I also think, the fact that we have little Declan, who's almost 2 now,
dude,
we kind of went backwards a little bit. I don't say we went backwards. We started over.
That's amazing, dude. That's a blessing. Every kid is
no question.
The kid for me, the scariest part was thinking the first one. I only had one, but it was this person's going to need me for the rest of their life. But then once they had 2 or 3 or something, they could kind of hang out with you. You just look at them and you're like, man, why did I wait so long to do this?
Dude, I tell
Like,
everybody,
it's just the
and
most
I
amazing
people
thing in the world.
people will say, hey, listen, you're in a good spot. It's easier for you financially. I'm just telling you, have kids as soon as you can. It's a blessing. It's going to be hard no matter when you have them, no matter what. And I would argue with you that the poorer you are when you have kids, the better off your kid will be, more than likely.
That's what they talk about that in generations. Like the guy who worked hard and had to, work from and everything, and then he made a bunch of money, and then he gave his kids everything. That kid technically is not going to probably excel as much as a person who, if he didn't have any money and had to work that and learn those ethics and learn those things rather than just have a Mercedes handed down to him.
No, it's just, even if it's not about handing stuff across, generations, it's more about what environment do you grow up in. If you've had less in general, I think, it's this balance that I think anybody that has financial success is, how do you balance that, right? You don't want to, you don't want to be unsafe. You want to live where you want to live. You want to have the experiences you want to have that you've worked to get. But at the same time, there's a lot of interesting people that are successful, and most of those people weren't born into success. They're interesting and successful because they've
went through that.
They went through a lot of crazy
and made
stuff,
them who they
tough
were.
stuff. Yeah.
2 more quick questions. One is your favorite New Orleans tradition. I mean, it could be anything too. Like, my favorite New Orleans tradition is literally, this is kind of lame, but it's the truth, is going to see live music. Like, I just, the musicians that we have here and the way that music works here in New Orleans, there's so many people who come here musicians wise and say they want to learn, because a lot of musicians in New Orleans don't even not trained musicians. They don't know how to read music, a lot of them, but they know how to play this certain type of music. Yep. And it's just, that's one of the things that I'd listen to.
Yeah, they're not classically trained.
Right. Yeah. Correct.
I don't know. This is maybe not exactly where you're going, but it's another thing in the off season. I love doing the Crescent City Classic, and now I'm getting my kids to do it, and it's always Saturday before Easter. That's a perfect
tradition there.
And, we love doing that.
That's a great thing. Thomas, anything you want to tell anybody about anything you're doing or anything?
Man. Or I would just say it's cool to be on this. I'm glad you took I'm glad you jumped off the cliff.
I did.
And just gave it a shot to do something that you felt was needed, and would do some good.
Yes, and it did, man.
And I'm grateful to be on the show. So
thanks, T. I appreciate it, man. Who dat?
And
remember, guys, subscribe, share, and tell your friends about it. Who dat?
Walking